Welcome to the Fox Hunt Guide for the brand new DLC El Dorado. This course is set during a stormy night and resembles the abandoned aftermath of an excavation by invaders in search of the legendary gold, and hunts inscriptions drawn on tablets by the locals. What's great about this is that there are two masterfully mapped out routes around El Dorado: the stone pathways you use to navigate the course, and separate pathways across the treetops which would have been used by the locals to traverse the island. Separate from the fox hunt, there may or may not also be a secret hidden stash of gold, and if you watch to the end of the video, I may be leaving clues throughout as to where that might be. Anyway, let's start the fox hunt as ever at hole number 1. Welcome to El Dorado. Can you help us decode the inscriptions on these tablets? Perhaps the legendary treasure awaits if you can. So we have these 3 images, and the triangle beneath them indicates where the next clue will be found. So our first task is to find what those 3 images represent. To do this, send yourself to hole number 14, and when you turn back from the tee, we can see these that we recognise from the lost ball hunt, and there is the second tablet. For this clue, we have 3 names and 3 heads drawn. These names are not randomly plucked out of thin air. They all relate to 3 real figures relating to the true story of El Dorado. So that's a little Easter egg for you. So we have 3 clues to find, and the first we can see by hole number 3 if you turn back from the tee. So there's the hole. There is the first of the clues. So we have 2 left to find. The next one, if you send yourself over to hole number 8 and make your way down beyond the end of the hole, again we saw this character in the lost ball hunt, and this time his hand is just about clasping at another clue. So for the third and final, this one was a little bit trickier to find, but you may have seen it just as you were playing along anyway. Take yourself to hole 15, and there is a gap. You can see a rope that has been swinging. He's obviously hit into the pillars, and down there with a flare to light him up, there's the third body and the third clue. So next we have the head of a statue and a tree, and the clue is at the top of that tree. So what we want to do is find the statue first, and that is down by hole number 1. So there's the statue that matches the image, and we have a tree on top of it. Now if the clue is to be at the top of that tree, we need to make our way up there. You can fly if you're comfortable doing that, but all of these can be completed without the need to fly. So if you walk your way up the steps towards the next hole, then take a left from this ramp on the hole, and you can actually walk up the tree, and there is the next clue. So the next image is a square with 4 sets of steps around it. This matches the highest point of El Dorado, which we're working towards through the course, which would be hole 18. And as we can see on the right hand side, there is a longer piece, and that resembles the lead up to the hole, which is holes 14, 15 and 16. So the clue is on the left hand side, so we need to go to the opposite side of hole 18. And when you're on that side, make your way down the steps, a long way down, and there is the next clue. So now we have a face in a more square type monument, and we have the clue above it, that triangle that we see. So first we need to find the monument. This is actually the door, which is by hole number 13. So if you turn back from the tee, there's the hole, and directly behind it is this door which they've tried to get into. And the clue tells us that the next one is up there somewhere. Again, you can fly if you want to, but if you prefer not to fly, make your way up the steps, move along just past hole 15, and down there is the next clue. So now we have what looks like almost a beak and the clue inside it, and you may notice that this is the shape from hole 6. So you don't want to go to the top of hole 6, instead teleport down to hole number 5. Once you're down at hole number 5, make your way through that hole towards number 6, and when you're at ground level you can see the shape that matches that on the clue. Inside the beak is the very next tablet. So we have another face, and this time the clue looks as though it's in the mouth. So for this one, we want to take ourselves down to hole number 2, And this is the ruins of what was the mechanical structure in the day course. And if you make your way up towards the flag area, you can see just inside the mouth is the next clue. So this is a much bigger mouth, and the clue, if you can see the triangle, is right at the top in the centre of the forehead there. You may recognise this as the huge structure from hole number 13, so if you send yourself down to the T, you can actually walk on top of this one. And if you carefully make your way right to the nose, there, as per the instruction, is the next clue. So we now have 5 matching faces, and on the 5th one we have a clue just on top of it. So these 5 resemble the parts of the waterfall seen on hole number 5. So if you make your way down to the flag area, you can see the 5 heads going from left to right. There we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one is broken off, and just underneath this stream of water it's there, but you can see it's only a partial this time. So with a partial clue, we need to find this shape. So the bit of the shape that we can see actually matches part of the head from this alligator or crocodile from hole number 10. If you make your way along to the side of it, you can see that matches the eye, and there is the clue just beneath it. So now we can see the full head, and the clue is above it. So this is where we first see these pathways that I spoke about at the start that are in amongst the trees. So far we've used the conventional pathway. So looking at hole number 10, one of the ways to get to this is to go to hole number 9, and there is a fallen pillar which leads you up towards the tree paths. Make your way along, and above the head that we were just at is the next clue. So now we have a map that purely navigates these tree pathways and is a great way to explore this separate bit of architecture that the developers have built into this course, which I think is fantastic. So you want to find your bearings and match that up to the map in front of you, and that big head, which is the waterfall, is probably a good centre point. So make your way along to the tree pathway directly behind that. And once you get there, you know you're roughly in the centre of the map. It may be easier to turn the map upside down at that point, because that's the way you're navigating it, and we know that we need to head over to the left and a bit further forward. So continue to make your way along. The lightning is going to help you see your way along this route. And just to the right by this tree, there are some steps. We know we need to go further because we have to get a little bit beyond where that head is, and down by this tree is the final clue. Well, you didn't find the rumoured caches of gold, but you discovered this interesting clubbing implement instead. Congratulations, you got the lost putter of El Dorado. And that of course means you've unlocked the brand new El Dorado themed putter. So what makes this one interesting is that you have to do it at night in this storm. It's clearly a very wet fox hunt, but luckily you don't have to go into the water at any point to find the clues. Let's give this one a quick test just to check it's working. Make sure it's all aligned correctly. Looks good, looks good, looks good, looks... Okay, clearly the putter's broken there. Just give it a quick tap if it's not quite working for you. So now that's all working, a quick note on teleporting. When you extend the beam out, it will either be red or blue. If it's red, it means you cannot teleport there. Anywhere where it turns blue means that you can teleport, and you maybe should go there. So anywhere it's blue, you can and should go, and anywhere it's red, you can't. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy your new putter. If you found this helpful, please do like and subscribe. And if you've got any questions or anything that's not quite clear, or perhaps if you've worked out where that gold might be, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.